Senator Lisa Murkowski has released her new memoir called Far From Home. Perspectives from both sides of the aisle is what it is, because she tends to be semi-independent, her Alaskan values, if you will. And in this book, Murkowski presents herself as a pragmatic moderate rooted in Alaskan values. She emphasizes community, compromise, and service over the partisan loyalty. She recounts that her rise from a PTA mom to a write-in Senate champion, her resistance to Trump-era politics has led to a pursuit of bipartisan legislation like the infrastructure bill, which may or may not have passed. I keep forgetting if infrastructure actually worked. You know, it's been a while. But there's being praise on this book from both sides of the aisle. Both parties are showing support for independence from her party extremes and a willingness to expose Trump, which is where the big things come from. They cite her votes to convict him in his second impeachment term and her support for the ACA and the defense of Senate norms, which is all sort of all out of place right now, as reasons to hype her book, hype her perspective. Her openness to moderate reforms like ranked choice voting and caucusing with Democrats in a 50-50 Senate signals her ambition to strengthen her institutions. Now, critics argue that her memoir actually justifies political convenience, something that she can get away with under a veneer of calling it independence. They point out that there's instances like her selectively opposing to Judge Kavanaugh and the impeachment votes as being more strategic than principled, essentially calling her shots and doing what will look better for her politically than it is doing what it is doing for her in her heart, if you will. That's something that she really goes down with values. Some are suggesting that proposals lack a systematic punch and may fall short of solving national dysfunction. Now, the biggest irritants about this are conservatives. They're the ones that really don't like this very much. They're grumbling at her resistance to their core positions, such as the taxing of assault deductions. That's way too complicated to really go into right now. And of course, her hesitating, that's the word, on the big, beautiful bill, which is supposed to pass next week. And of course, exploring caucusing with Democrats here or there to see how it really feels. For some, her stance undermines the party unity. For others, it's a necessity, one of them words, to check on the party overreach, basically keeping the Republicans and GOP from going a bit too far in a time when going a bit too far seems like the norm. Memoir may inspire a return to constructive politics and restore some faith in governance. Chances are that's not going to happen. What's going to basically happen is we see that with her as an example of what to maybe hold on to, not seeing any bold reform from either side, either party, either House or Senate, it actually risks reinforcing the centrist gridlock that exists right now. She may appeal to some of her Alaskan values, but she leaves others unconvinced that her national tipping points are actually being addressed. In summary, the memoir charts a course for sober politics, something we should look for more of right now, but we're too busy being entertained by the entertaining stuff. It is what it is. But sober politics should be defined by moderation, compromise, and independent judgment by all. Praise and critique cut across party lines, so each party does their best and does their worst in different pieces. And for Murkowski herself, some are seeing her as a vital stabilizer in this political landscape, someone to look up to. Others just see her as an opportunist to play centrist when it works for her convenience. I have not read the book yet. I'll probably get it in a Audible form so I can listen to it. These things seem to be pretty long. I'll look for it on Blinkist in a short version sometime soon to see if it's there to get the gist of it. But this is one that I'm going to put into the piles. I'm a bit behind on a lot of stuff, so bear with me to get to this. Now, another story, another person who isn't my senator, doesn't really in my district, doesn't really matter to me except for how she throws dominoes in the wrenches in the works, knocks dominoes off. It's the way things work in our government right now. She has a lot of power. She can call a lot of shots. She can stop a lot of things, which is where things are. And she apparently doesn't seem to care. We'll see when midterms come up and how the actual House and Senate play themselves out in the next iteration, and whether come 2028, Donald Trump or whoever's running for president is a threat to her going forward. I can't remember if she's actually said she's going to bow down or retire. I can't remember. So many people of establishment who actually have a bunch of clout have already said they're punching out. So we'll see what happens for Senator Murkowski and for Alaska very soon.